Hey guys, this is Mr. Gelming. This is another video on volume of prisms. Yesterday's video, oh boy, that was a mess. I made a mess out of that one. These videos are really hard to edit, so once I got through it at the very end and I messed up, there was really no way to fix it. So I just had to kind of move on. Seems like I confused some of you. So this question that you see here, this is a complete question. This is actually off of Alex. My son was able to get it on here for me. And I'm just going to kind of go through it. When you do Alex in a couple days on volume of rectangular prisms, you will see a problem like this one. And then tomorrow we'll go over another problem. They're not super hard. Again, volume is how much something holds. So at the very top up here, it says volume of a solid made of cubes with unit fractional edges. Again, that's our sixth grade standard, that we can find the volume. Volume of a normal regular prism is pretty easy. We take the length, the area of the base, which is the length, times the width, times the height. And it ends up pretty easy. The reason I don't like you to teach, or like to teach you that formula as much, is that only works for rectangular prisms. If we have another shape, the formula is going to be a little bit different. So in this case, the large solid below is made from small cubes. Each has a side length of 1/3. Well, we do know, since it's a cube, definition of a cube is that every side, wow, that's not very good, is the same length. And in this case, every side, oh wow, is 1/3. I really need to get one of those pencils. Every side's 1/3 of a foot. Okay? So answer the questions below. Write your answer in simplest form. Our first question, guess we should do this part first. How many small cubes is the large solid made of? Well, you might be able to see, hopefully, that we have two layers right there, right? Oh, wow. Okay. I'll erase the layers because that's terrible. Just kind of put a line. We have one there and we have one there. And then in the front, right here, we have 3. And then the only other thing we need to look at is the depth. We have 2. Okay? So how many cubes do you see in this? Well, there's 2 layers. There's this layer up top, which are, you can see the 3 cubes here. You can't see the whole 3 cubes behind it, but you know they're there. Okay, so that layer has 6. And then on the bottom, again, you can see these 3 cubes clearly. And here's the side of the front one right there. And then you should know that there's another 3 behind it. 1, 2, 3. So this row also has 6. So how many small cubes is the large solid made of? Yeah, it's 12. It has 12 small cubes. 12 of the small ones make up the large one. Okay? For the next question, what would the volume of a small cube be? Well, this is the small cube right here. This bad drawing of 1/3 by 1/3 by 1/3. Well, how do we find volume? It would end up for a prism, a rectangular prism or a cube, it's going to be 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. And on the top, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. On the bottom, I'm not going to have room to write this. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So this answer would be 1/27 cubic feet. Each of the cubes is 1/27 of a cubic foot. Kind of makes sense. Now the last question, what is the volume of the large solid? Well, one method that we can do with that is Since the large solid, there's 12 cubes, and each one of them is 1/27th of a square foot. I'll give ourselves a little room here. So we have 12 cubes times 1/27th. Hopefully you remember from our multiplication, we don't flip anything here, but we can make 12 over 1. Then this just becomes a multiplication problem. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 27 is 27. This can be reduced, and you always need to make sure you reduce things. Can you see a number that goes into both of them? And I see 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So the answer to this bottom, what is the volume of the whole thing? It seems like it would be a lot bigger, but it is 4/9 of a cubic foot. Ooh, sorry, that's terrible. But let me do that again. Okay, so 4/9 of a cubic foot. All I did was multiply 12, and we made it 12 over 1 here, times 1/27th. Why did I multiply it by 1/27th? Because each of the 12 cubes is 1/27th of a cubic foot. So to find the total volume, that would be one way. So we have how many small cubes? 12. What's the volume of one? 1/27th. And what's the volume of a large solid is 4/9. Now, if we were just answering the last question, you could approach this a little bit differently. Again, we know our volume is length times width times height. You could probably still answer the first question by just counting the cubes. But in this method, we'd find out what is the length. Well, if this one's a third, that means this is a third, and this is a third. So 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3, plus 1/3 is 3/3 feet, or 1 foot. On the side, the width is a third and a third, which gives us 2/3. Ooh, sorry, that's bad. Feet. And our height is a third and a third, which gives us also 2/3. So our three dimensions, I'm sorry, I really need to buy one of those pens, are a foot, that's this, because a third, and a third. This one is 1/2, that's here. And this one is 1/3, 2/3, that's here. So to find the volume, our length is 1, our width is 2/3, and our height is 2/3. Well, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, and we get the same answer of 4/9 cubic feet. So if all those questions weren't there, this might be an easier method to finding the answer. Both methods work, and both are suitable. Hopefully this helps clear things up a little bit. Some of you are just confused by the multiplying, and that's okay. We did some multiplying, especially when we did our division, but that is a 5th grade standard. We haven't done a ton of it. The other thing, when I ask you if you understand a question, I'm automatically giving you the point, whether you answer yes or no. It gives me a better idea if you understand it, if you're honest. Maybe yes, a little bit. Most of you gave me good descriptions, but everyone gets a point on that one. That's a freebie. So it's better if you answer me honestly, and I can tell if I mess it up. I knew yesterday's video was going to be tough. Volume isn't actually that hard. The way they make it hard in 6th grade is they're going to add all these fractions in here. Okay? And this just becomes confusing, not necessarily hard. All All right, hope that helps. Please stay in contact with me. If you have questions, let me know. And tomorrow I'll post a different video on volume, another Alex sample. And then on Thursday, I'll assign the Alex assignment. This is very similar to the problems that you're going to see on Alex. All right, thanks. Bye.